Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm Dr. S.K. Singh, and I'm excited to present to you our topic, Top 10 Hidden GMP Violations You Don't Notice. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore some of the subtle GMP violations that often go unnoticed but can have significant impacts. So, let's dive in and uncover these hidden issues together. Welcome to this section on introduction. Here, I want to emphasize that good manufacturing practices, or GMP, are more than just guidelines. They are crucial standards that help ensure our products are consistently made to meet quality expectations. They are especially vital in industries like pharmaceuticals, food, and cosmetics, where product safety isn't just a priority, it's a necessity. While many GMP violations are straightforward and can be caught during inspections, there's a significant number that stay hidden and often go unnoticed during routine operations. These hidden violations might seem minor at first glance, things like incomplete documentation, improper cleaning, or staff not being adequately trained. But what's important to understand is that even these seemingly small issues can have serious consequences down the line. For example, over time, they can lead to product contamination, which affects effectiveness or worse, cause harm to consumers. They can also result in regulatory penalties, which can be costly and damage a company's reputation. That's why recognizing these subtle issues is so critical. It's about maintaining high standards and preventing risks before they escalate. This presentation will focus on the top 10 hidden GMP violations, aiming to raise awareness and encourage better compliance across manufacturing processes. Ultimately, understanding these hidden issues helps us protect consumers and uphold the integrity of our products. Hidden GMP violations might seem like minor issues at first glance, but they can actually lead to serious consequences if we ignore them. These small problems, like incomplete records, poor hygiene practices, or improper handling of equipment, might not seem urgent, but over time, they can impact the quality and safety of the products we produce. What's important to understand is that these hidden violations don't usually cause immediate problems, but they can gradually cause contamination, reduce the effectiveness of our products, or even lead to batch failures. And these issues often aren't immediately visible, which makes them even more dangerous. When such problems accumulate, they can result in product recalls, regulatory penalties, and damage to consumer trust, the very foundation of our business. In critical industries like pharmaceuticals and food, the stakes are even higher because these risks can directly affect human health. Additionally, if these violations go unnoticed, they weaken the overall quality system, making it harder to maintain consistency and stay compliant with regulations. That's why it's so crucial to identify and address these hidden issues early on. Doing so helps us ensure that our products are safe, reliable, and of the highest quality, ultimately protecting our consumers and our reputation. Let's take a closer look at some common GMP violations that can seriously impact product quality. Starting with poor raw material handling, this is often due to improper storage or labeling. For example, mixing approved and unapproved materials can happen, and the consequence is the use of incorrect ingredients in production. That's a major risk because it can compromise the entire batch. Next, uncalibrated equipment is another critical issue. If equipment isn't regularly calibrated, it can lead to inaccurate measurements. Imagine using incorrect weighing balances. This results in wrong dosages or formulations, which directly affects the safety and efficacy of the product. Moving on to personnel hygiene. When staff don't follow proper hygiene protocols, like skipping gloves or improper gowning, there's a high risk of microbial contamination. This can introduce pathogens into the product, posing health risks. Then, we have inadequate cleaning procedures. If equipment isn't cleaned properly, residue from previous batches can contaminate the next product. Cross-contamination like this can alter the quality and safety of the final product. Finally, poor documentation practices, such as incomplete or falsified records, are a serious violation. Missing batch records or backdating entries erase traceability, making it impossible to track issues or ensure accountability. All of these violations undermine GMP principles and can have severe consequences for product integrity and patient safety. That's why strict adherence to proper practices in these areas is absolutely essential. Let's now look at some other common GMP violations that can seriously impact product quality. First up is inadequate quality control testing. This happens when testing is skipped or not conducted properly. For example, not thoroughly testing the final product before release. The consequence? Unsafe products can end up on the market, putting patients at risk. Next, improper labeling and packaging is a major concern. Wrong or unclear labels, like incorrect expiry dates or batch numbers, can lead to misuse or recalls. This not only affects consumer safety, but also damages the company's reputation. Then we have data integrity issues. Manipulating or deleting data, such as altering test results to meet standards, is a serious violation. It can lead to regulatory noncompliance and legal consequences, not to mention risking the safety of the product. Lack of proper training is another critical factor. When employees aren't adequately trained, they might execute SOPs incorrectly, increasing the chance of human errors that compromise quality. Finally, inadequate environmental control, like poor regulation of temperature, humidity, or air quality, can cause product degradation. For example, high humidity can affect the stability of tablets, making them less effective or unsafe. All these violations highlight how crucial strict adherence to GMP is to ensure product safety, efficacy, and regulatory compliance. Detecting GMP violations is crucial to maintaining product quality, safety, and compliance. Since many issues can be hidden or subtle, a systematic approach is essential. One of the key methods we use is conducting regular audits and reviewing documentation. Missing or incorrect records can often reveal where things might be going wrong. Monitoring processes and equipment is also vital. It helps us spot problems like poor maintenance or calibration errors before they affect product quality. Environmental checks, such as monitoring temperature, humidity, and cleanliness, are equally important because they can uncover risks that might compromise the manufacturing environment. Employee observation plays a critical role as well. Improper practices or lack of training can lead to violations, so paying attention to how staff operate is necessary. Furthermore, automated systems and quality testing tools enhance our ability to detect issues early and with greater accuracy. Overall, continuous monitoring combined with proper quality checks forms the backbone of our strategy to identify and prevent GMP violations, ensuring we uphold the highest standards throughout our manufacturing process. Preventing GMP violations is absolutely essential to ensure our products remain safe, high quality, and compliant with regulations. Taking a proactive approach helps us minimize risks and keep our manufacturing processes running smoothly. One of the most important steps is proper training for our staff, making sure everyone understands and follows standard operating procedures, or SOPs, which are the backbone of consistent quality. Maintaining strict documentation practices is also key. Accurate, transparent, and traceable records help us stay accountable and quickly identify any issues. Regular equipment maintenance and calibration are vital too. They help prevent errors during production and ensure our machinery functions correctly. Creating a clean, controlled environment through proper sanitation and environmental monitoring helps us prevent contamination, which is critical in our industry. Conducting routine internal audits and inspections allows us to catch potential problems early, before they turn into serious violations. Additionally, implementing quality control systems and automated monitoring tools can greatly improve consistency and reduce human error. Ultimately, continuous improvement, raising staff awareness, and strictly adhering to GMP guidelines are the best ways to prevent violations and guarantee that our products are of the highest quality. GMP violations can have serious consequences for a company, both financially and in terms of reputation. One of the most immediate impacts is product recalls. These recalls can be costly, as they involve returning goods, disposal expenses, and delays in production that can disrupt the entire supply chain. Beyond the direct costs, companies may also face regulatory penalties such as hefty fines, suspension of licenses, or even shutdowns of manufacturing facilities. These actions can halt operations entirely and create significant setbacks. Another critical issue is damage to the brand's reputation and the trust of consumers. Once customers question the safety and quality of products, it becomes very challenging to regain their confidence and maintain market share. GMP violations also lead to wastage, whether it's raw materials, rejected batches, or increased operational costs. All of these factors cut into profitability. And in some cases, if consumers are harmed, legal actions and compensation claims can arise, adding further financial strain. Overall, the impact of GMP violations extends beyond immediate profits. They threaten long-term growth, credibility, and sustainability of the company. It's why maintaining good manufacturing practices is absolutely essential for success. GMP violations, whether they are major or minor, can have serious consequences on the quality and safety of our products, as well as on the overall performance of the business. When we don't follow proper manufacturing practices, it can lead to contamination, products that don't work as intended, regulatory actions, and ultimately, a loss of consumer trust. Even small or hidden violations might seem insignificant at first, but over time, they can add up and weaken the entire quality system we've worked so hard to build. That's why strict adherence to GMP guidelines, continuous monitoring, and regular training are so essential. They help us stay compliant and catch issues before they become bigger problems. In conclusion, preventing GMP violations isn't just about meeting regulatory requirements. It's a critical responsibility we all share to ensure our products are safe, reliable, and of high quality. Doing so also protects the long-term success and reputation of our company, which benefits everyone involved. For further support, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to help you with any questions or additional information you might need. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Our team is available to assist you whenever you need it. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. We appreciate your engagement and look forward to supporting you moving forward.